because even though it's like kind of specific to their relationship, it's still general in the sense of like this is a tale as old as time.
Yes.
You know, like this is not a new scenario.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure I maybe was Diane at some point in my life.
I think we all were Diane and Andy.
And Andy,
at some point in our lives.
Like, I got my shit together.
Right.
Let's go.
And I think what's good about the scene is that you can play to the sympathies of both characters.
Yeah.
Because both of these people clearly have some flaws, but there had to be something good at some point for them to be together. Something brought them, attracted them to one another. So I would say play on that. Let the audience know that, like, you know, I don't think your character should come off as, like, her life is going terrible. I just think it's kind of like, hey, I'm the one who told you to get off your butt and go do this, and now you did, and I feel kind of responsible for that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because kind of some of the notes are giving, it makes her a little more likable, I think, like, but I gave you that idea and I was helping you and now you did it, hurrah, rather than like, naggy. Okay, Mike, you want to do it again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, whenever you're ready.
Whose decision was it to do that song?
Mine. I'm solo now.
I know, they told me.
I decided to do something different.
I know. Miss me?
Yeah, sure.
You want to come over?
No.
Why not? What's the matter?
You put me in the street.
Andy, I only asked you to leave because you wouldn't get a job. I couldn't continue to support you.
It just turned out. I never asked you to support me.
It just turned out that way? Huh. Okay, so you couldn't get any singing gigs. You could have at least made an effort to get a real job.
I'm a singer.
You could have gotten a job anywhere. Popeye's Chicken, something.
I never asked you to support me.
I paid for everything. Hey, Andy, I had to ask you to leave because you know my father. How would it have looked to him?
You gave up on me, Diane. I have every intention of paying you back.
I don't want your money.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
How much do I owe you?
$1,753.27, not including those leopard skin Speedos I got you. I consider those a gift for myself. I still have them, you know.
So now you want me back?
You've got a job now, don't you?
Any man with a job?
You know that's not what I'm talking about. You didn't actually think I could go a week without you. In a script where they have action and you're in an audition situation, how do you handle that? Like, you know, in the, it says she moves into him, he moves away, like, there's a couple direction. Like, how would you handle that?
Well, I think that's based on your personal comfort level, and you know, you do have to try to read the room as best you can with the producers or casting directors or whoever's in the room. If they're having you do a scene with someone, as long as the action is like you moving closer, they move away, you turn your back to them, I would say do it. If it has anything to do with you picking up an object that's not there, avoid that like the plague, in my opinion, because then it's like, what am I holding? I'm holding a glass, and it's weird, and it makes it look corny. So avoid that. Focus on the lines. If the dialogue is going to push forward the performance or give more energy to you and whoever else is in that scene, even if it's just someone who's like the director reading the scene with you, go for it, because they will feel that energy with it. So it kind of depends on the scene. You got to make a judgment call on it. Generally speaking, stay with the script and just stay with the lines. Don't worry too much about action or movements, because then they have to play imagination land, and it might play against you. But that would be my advice.
Okay. So like especially at the with performance wise, like, would you say, how is my movement? Was I moving too much? Was I not moving enough? Like, I just, I know a lot of people struggle with being in their body and moving too much sometimes, or feeling really stiff because they're afraid to move. What would your advice be to?
Well, I mean, every director is going to be different, and everyone's going to take it a different way. If you're nervous, generally speaking, some people when they're nervous, they lock up, and then like they're just standing like this, or like they start moving around too much. I would say whatever makes you comfortable and is going to give you the confidence. If you feel more in the groove, moving around and being kinetic and, you know, following all these movement and actions, go for it. If you're someone who's like, I just want to focus on the lines and I want to do it, do it. So you have to know yourself as an actor, and that's only going to come with practice and time. For me personally, I just focus on, is this person giving me a good performance? Whatever they're doing. If they're moving around a lot, I will follow them. I'll see where they're going with it because it might add to the performance. If they're standing like this or sitting down, as long as I can hear their performance or artist's voice, it doesn't make a difference. And I think most directors or producers, or if they're are going to forget about the extra stuff and just focus on, is he or she delivering a good performance?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. How important, like, is getting the dialogue exact to you? Or do you think to people, like, on the other side of the camera?
If the screenwriter's there in the auditions, they might be miffed if you mess up a bunch of lines. It's always a big red flag to me as a director if someone is intentionally improving lines. That's always a big no-no, because then that makes me feel like on set they're going to want to always improv. And particularly with drama, you can't do that. The lines are really directed on the path to build to something else. If you forget your line, improv. Add it in, fill in the base, but always try to keep the same context of what they're saying, the same concept. As long as it doesn't seem like you're going too all over the map, I don't think any director's really going to care that much. Just try to stay within the lines as much as possible. But if you slip up, it's an audition. You're not expected to know them 100% perfectly, but definitely look like you know the lines. Yeah.
So as long as you're making an honest effort to get as close to the dialogue as you can.
Yeah, I think you'll be fine. Don't improv. That is unless the director asks you to improv, do not improv. That is the fastest way for me to say no to someone in an audition.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. It is. Someone spent a lot of time writing that script.
Right.
So it's a little disrespectful.